time to count down the week's top 30. What's up, y'all? I'm Brian.
And I'm Tyler of Florida Georgia Line. You know us from these songs.
Brett Young and the week's hottest song, Lady. But will Brett and his ladies hit the top of this week's chart? We're going to find out a little bit later on Country Countdown USA. Each week, I'm joined by a top country star who helps me count down the hits. Along this week, we've got BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. How you guys doing?
What's up, Lon?
What's good, Lon?
Good, man.
So everything is great on this end. Can't complain. What about? Well, let's begin with where are you guys?
Well, me and my family just flew back from LA, and we're in Nashville now. So we're just at the house hanging.
And BK, what about you?
I'm down in Florida at home and my little studio, just kind of kicking it and looking outside, seeing some blue skies and some sunshine.
Oh, that's nice. Appreciate you guys taking the time out. What were you doing in L.A., Tyler?
You know, we were just honestly avoiding cold weather in Nashville. And we were working out there, doing some things and running around, and it's just a good time to get out of Nashville and get some sunshine. So we were out there with the kiddos and just having some family time. It was good for us.
All right, we'll talk about what both you guys have been up to in the last 8 months since we saw you. And, of course, among the new things, new album, Life Rolls On. We'll talk about that a little later. Has the big hits on it, I Love My Country, and the current top 5 hit, Long Live.
Come on.
Lots to talk about with Florida Georgia Line. Lady A, leading off the week's top 30, Like a Lady. My co-hosts this week are BK and Tyler of Florida Georgia Line. Their current top 5 is Long Live, and let's talk about it a little bit here. Was this song written before or after the lockdown? I mean, it does have that type of feel great song with a great groove that's like what we need right now.
Man, Lon, this song was written actually when we were still on tour, so it was probably 2 years ago or something like that, too. Yeah, it's been a while. That song, that song actually lived a long life as well. It's been around for a while, and it's stuck around, and it made the cut on this album. We really couldn't not record this song. It felt so appropriate, and again, just so, even more now than ever, and it just felt really good. And kind of that word you said earlier, nostalgic, it kind of took us back to old FGL and our first and second album, and it just felt it felt really good and really us, and we just loved it, so it stuck around.
Well, I figured it must have been special to you guys if it's the first track on the album.
Oh yeah, it sets the tone, it sets the pace.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, here's the opening track from Florida Georgia Line's latest album, Life Rolls On. My co-hosts, Florida Georgia Line and Long Live. BK and Tyler from the duo are here. As we talked about, you guys had a hand in writing that song and so many of the songs on this new album, not to mention so many of the hits in the past. What is it about your relationship or your chemistry? Why is it that you guys have such a connection when it comes to songwriting in particular?
Man, that's a good question. I just think, I think we grew up listening to a lot of the same music, growing up with a lot of the same values, and about close to the same age. So, in kind of two different worlds, Florida and Georgia, but kind of grew up kind of like-minded, I'd say, and musically, creatively, kind of just, we're a lot the same, but we're different enough to where we complement each other. And yeah, man, I think we were constantly trying to work on that and better ourselves for longevity's sake, and try different things and give ourselves freedom to write with other people and do different things. And I think that always adds more to the whole. And so man, I think we're two blessed guys that God put together, and we're just trying to make the most of it, man, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that's certainly what you've done the last 9 or 10 years, is make the most of it. We're going to talk some more about that song when it comes up. Once again at number 28 with Hard Days. Counting down the hits with me this week are BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line, and of course every tour was canceled last year due to the pandemic, and among the casualties, unfortunately, was yours with Kenny Chesney. And when Kenny was in here as my co-host, he told me what he felt really sad about.
It was going to be an exciting summer. We had all the energy to going on a huge stadium tour with Florida Georgia Line, but it just wasn't in the cards last year. And I missed it. And you know what, Lon? I miss it. I was looking really forward to being out and creating with those guys and having a moment on stage. And they've done a really great job of building their own audience. And we were all looking forward to, a great summer together. But who knows? Maybe we'll get to do it again, But I really love their music and was looking really forward to sharing the stage with them.
Man,
that's awesome. Makes me sad too.
No, you had to bring that up, didn't you, Lon? Thanks, man.
Not to mention missing those crowds of 50, 60,000, right?
Oh, geez, Louise, that was going to be an epic summer. We were looking forward to that, and Chesney said it. And we really do hope that we get the opportunity to do that again at some point and make up for that year, because we were all so excited. And yeah, I feel like it just would have been such a special tour. And Kenny's one of our heroes. We as well grew up listening to him, and we had a lot of notes to take that we.
Young and Kane Brown once again at number 26 with Famous Friends. Co-hosting with me this week, BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. And it's been about 8 months since the two of you guys were here. And normally here I'd probably ask what's new since we saw you last August. But Tyler, that's an easy one for you.
Yeah, we got a lot new. We got a new baby. We got a new a lot of new things. Yeah, life's been crazy, Lon. It's fun to kind of take a second and reminisce. But yeah, it's been a wild year. Honestly, a wild year and a half for everyone. But we've, between injuries and COVID and new babies and having 3 under 3, it's been a wild ride, but it's been a lot of fun. And at times I'm thankful that we're off the road. As much as we miss it, as much as we want to be on the road, it feels good to be home and be able to kind of be here for this season of life.
Whose idea was it to have 3 under 3?
I guess God's. It wasn't ours. I'll tell you that right now. We didn't plan it like that. But honestly, at times,
you do know what causes it, though.
I've learned. But I tell you what, it has been, when Haley told me she was pregnant, actually with our second and our third, I thought there was no way, and I thought she was pulling a prank and doing the whole thing. But now that we're here, man, and have them all together, I think I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, it's truly amazing, and it's really fun watching them grow up, and they're all going to be really good friends. And so, and we've got the hardest part behind us now, and there's no, hopefully, unless God wants to pull another curveball on us, we're not going to be having any more. So we're good with changing diapers for the rest of our life.
We'll talk more about your new boy Atlas a little bit later. BK, how about you? What's new since we saw you last?
Man, I've been doing a bunch of fishing, to be honest with you, as much as I can, and really enjoying the Florida lifestyle, and just kind of doing some songwriting and just enjoying life. Yeah, happy as could be.
Well, it sounds like both you guys are making the most of being off the road during this pandemic. And as we get along, I do want to talk Charlie Pierce again at number 25, Next Girl. My co-host this week, BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. And Tyler, a bit ago, we were talking about your new baby boy, Atlas. How old is he now?
Atlas is about to be 6 months.
Oh, wow. So is he starting to show any personality yet?
Oh, yeah. He's so happy, man. I got a video yesterday where he was rocking in this thing, literally to the beat of the music. And it's the funniest video. I've watched it probably 10 times and I crack up. I need to send it to you guys. But yeah, he is, and he's super happy. He's just, all of our babies have been pretty happy, but he seems like he's super chill and always smiling, at least at this age. I'm probably going to jinx it, and he's probably going to turn into a wild man. But Luca's our wild man right now. He's the one that we got to, hands and eyes on at all times for sure. So it's a wild zoo around here of kids running around, but it's fun.
What's it for you to watch a longtime friend, BK, become a dad like Tyler has?
Man, it's absolutely amazing, and him and Haley are doing such a great job raising them babies, and they just take it right in stride. It's a beautiful thing, and such a really cute family, and it's inspiring. Yeah, hopefully me and Britt can have something like that one day when the time's right.
Join the kid club.
The old kid club.
Well, he'll have all kinds of stuff to be able to hand down to you.
Yo, I'll give you all the hand-me-downs, bro. All the toys, all the clothes. You won't have to spend nothing. I'll spend it all first.
Perfect. Deal.
Anyway, Jason Aldean up 1 to number 23. Blame it on you. BK and Tyler of Florida Georgia Line, and here's my co-host this week. And guys, before we leave Jason, when he was in here as my co-host, he told me that he partnered with the two of you to launch his own brand of bourbon.
Here's the thing. I think when you have an opportunity to do things like this, I think making sure you pick the right things with the right people that you like getting involved with, and that it makes it believable and it's true to what it is. I think that's important. And those guys and myself have been friends for a long time, and this was just kind of an easy fit. It's like, man, we sit around and and drink whiskey anyway, bourbon. So it's like, I mean, why not have one that's ours, you know? And so far it's been doing great, and it was kind of an easy decision.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Jason's our guy. We love him.
Did you have some tips from him since you had already gone through it with your own old camp? Did you have any tips for him as he was kind of crafting the Wolf Moon in terms of how you do it, and I don't know what you're looking for in taste and all that?
That's a good question. I think we kind of, I think we had a little bit to do with it, but that's what we love about collabing. Letting Jason kind of make it his and letting him kind of lead the way and anchor that one down. So, I know we were knowing some things different, like logos and getting the batch of bourbon right and tasting and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, he's kind of fronting that part of it, and so we want it to be real for everybody, so and that's what it is. So it was a cool process, man. I mean, anytime you get to taste a bunch of different bourbons and judge them, it's like, sign me. I could do that all the time. That's my palate enjoys it.
And we started this whole conversation about bourbon with Jason Aldean, who was there at 23, as FGL and I hit on to number. Dirk Bentley once again at number 20 with Gone. My co-hosts are BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line, and I don't know if you read the trades or not, but Country Air Check just released a list of something called Power Gold, and that's a list of the most played songs more than 18 months old. And you guys had 7 songs out of the top 100, which was tied for the most.
Wow.
That is just, and by the way, Cruise is still in the top 5, a song that released, 8-9 years ago.
Crazy.
So it just really, as songwriters, it strikes me, that is the ultimate in longevity.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I didn't even know that, Lon. That's a cool stat, man. That means a lot, and that's something to be proud of, man. Thanks for.
Yeah, that's super humbling and very, very inspiring, and I think a couple of those we wrote, and I think some of those we didn't, and that shows the power of the Nashville songwriters and the songwriting community, and what we've leaned on for a lot of our career. We moved to Nashville to be songwriters, and we kind of developed as artists, and our motto was, hey, let's write as many as we can, and there's so many great songwriters in Nashville. We'd be stupid to not, songs that we relate to and feel like we almost wrote or would have written or can't write, whatever it checks off that kind of box. I mean, it's like we've been very lucky to have some great outside songs that have literally shaped our career. So thank you to those songwriters for sure.
Well, of course, in that we're going to thank you guys as well, because you had a hand in writing this song, both of you. And as I mentioned, it's in the top 5 and the most played Power Gold records on country radio. This is Cruise. BK and Tyler are along as my co-hosts this week, and you guys just released your 5th album, Life Rolls On, in February, and it has 16 songs on it. And I mean, that's a lot. I mean, that's kind of not normal these days. For you guys, how did it end up 16?
Well, honestly, I'm surprised it's not like a 30-song album. I mean, we had so many songs we were trying to narrow it down from, and we took about a year making this thing. So over the course of the year, other songs we were writing and things that would come in, and it's just.
Tim McGraw, along with one of my co-hosts, Tyler Hubbard, at number 18, Undivided. Tyler and BK from FGL are both in here as my co-hosts this week, and just wondering if either of you guys have seen or talked to Tim lately.
Well, no, I did the inauguration. I think that's the last time I saw McGraw. We had a great time doing that and shooting some video stuff and hanging out. He's always sending me pictures of him out down in his island spearfishing, and he keeps telling me, T, you got to come spearfishing. You boys got to come down there. And he always sends me a picture of himself holding a couple fish, and he's extremely ripped. And I'm just like, dude, are you trying to make me feel like I need to go to the gym right now or need to come fishing? Because you're telling me to come fishing, and I'm feeling like I need to go to the gym right now. But no, Tim's awesome. And, man, I got to say, just from BK and I, we've always looked up to Tim because, I mean, not only did we grow up with his music, but also his work ethic and his drive and his will. I mean, his competitiveness, man, it's incredible, and it inspires us like crazy. So we've watched him for years and watched him, grow as an artist and watch him evolve and watch him just become this dude that's just a machine, and it's pretty cool. And he's got a huge heart, and he's super talented, and as a father and as a husband in every aspect of life, it's just inspiring. So a lot of love for McGraw.
And I think I read somewhere where he and Faith were looking to sell that island. Has he tried to sell it to you?
Oh man, I couldn't even afford to have a cabin on that island right now. So we're just I don't know. He hadn't presented to me that idea yet. He probably knows better.
Keith Urban and Pink up a couple to number 17, One Too Many. My co-hosts this week are BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line, and you talked earlier about doing some solo projects and even maybe some projects with other people here and there for both of you guys. And I just wondered if you feel that you're able to kind of move into other areas when you do that, either solo or with other people that maybe you can't do as a team. And then coming back full circle, does it make the team of BK and Tyler even better?
Yeah, I just think, anytime an artist can honor their creativity and their calling and, the whole perspective of their life, and that's, having some freedom to just kind of chase some different things down, I think that's good for everybody. And I think, I definitely think that makes everything stronger. And I think we all at the end of the day are going to be more inspired when everybody's happy and really feeling fulfilled. And yeah, man, I think it's just cool to see what can happen. Life is short, and I think we're all just dream chasers and don't ever want that to stop. So I think, we love chasing down the next win and the next great idea, next great song. So yeah, man, I think that just adds a lot of positivity, and a lot of great things can come from that. So I don't know the exact answers, but man, I think it makes us better. I think it makes us stronger.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. Just Jordan Davis up 1 to number 15 with Almost Maybes. Counting down the hits with me this week, FGL's BK and Tyler. And next up on the countdown is Eric Church's song. And I know that both of you guys are huge fans of Eric's. Have either of you had a chance to chat or text or email with him since he won the CMA Entertainer of the Year?
Man, you know what? I got to be honest. I hadn't talked to Eric. I don't even think I have his phone number. So we need to you need to make that happen for me, Lon, so we can be buddies. No, we're definitely huge fans of Eric. Always have been. For a long time, I listened to him all through college, and I know BK, and he's inspired us a ton. And I know he just put out some new music recently too that I've been wanting to go check out. So I need to go do that. And yeah, a lot of love for Eric for sure.
Hell of a view. BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line are along as my co-host this week, as we've been talking about. You guys just released your 5th album, Life Rolls On, which is your first album with a new producer. And just kind of wondered, was there any different approach or process different? What different things does a new producer bring to it?
For us, I would say it was a new energy. It was a ton of fun. We, working with Corey, like you said, he was a great friend of ours and has been for a long time, and a lot of respect for him. He's an incredible songwriter and singer as well, and done the artist thing, and, he really gets all facets of music, and he's an incredible producer. So we just had a lot of fun with him in the studio, and it kind of felt like we were kids again making music. It brought back tons of joy, and probably one of our most favorite albums that we've made as far as the creating process. We went down to the Bahamas and did the vocals and just mixed it up. We knew this was our 5th album. We felt like we really wanted to celebrate this one and do it a little different, and spend a little money and go down to the Bahamas and get a nice studio and do the vocals. But just the overall process, having Crowder kind of drive the train was a lot of fun, and we're really thankful for him on this whole thing for sure.
I do want to come back and talk some more. 12 Made for You. Counting down the hits with me are Florida Georgia Line's BK and Tyler. We've been talking about the new album Life Rolls On that came out in February, and you guys were telling me a bit ago that it was recorded in the Bahamas, which obviously a different vibe in the Bahamas than Nashville is. How does that affect you and just the way you approach the songs?
Man, we had some good times down there, but we really did work a lot. There was a lot of days we were in there early, and we were out of there, some late nights as well, and we made sure it had a good boat day and did some fishing and had fam day and everything like that. But man, it was just an incredible, first class studio situation. And massive windows in this big live room we're singing in, and it's overlooking the marina, all these amazing boats. And so you kind of have a changing little screensaver there inside the studio. So it was just, whether a storm was rolling in or just a big boat was pulling in, you just kind of always inspired by, or some beautiful sunshine, and just always inspired by the weather and what's out there. And man, we just soaked it all up. It was just an incredible experience, and man, something I think we'll never forget.
I would think, but I'll tell you what, we're going to... To Neil Arts again at number 10, Somebody Like That. My co-hosts this week are BK and Tyler of Florida Georgia Line. And hey, BK, when Lee Bryce was in here not long ago, he was telling us that he bought your bus.
Yeah.
So Brian from Florida Georgia Line, I think it might be his publishing company or something, but something that he's got is called Tree Vibes. And so this bus, I found it, and I was like, hey, I love this bus because I needed room to put a studio in it. And so it was Brian's, but he had it opened up because he had some dogs. He had big dogs on his bus. And so it was an open area on that side. So that's how I was able to build the studio on that side of the bus. But so I really kind of made it mine, but it was really cool that he already had it kind of vibed out, tree vibed out.
That's awesome. I miss that bus. We really do. We have another one now, which is awesome. But that was the first bus we ever got to build out, me and Brittany. And we had four like kennel crates on the bus for our dogs, and man, that we got some good miles on that bus. That bus was really good to us, and I'm sure Lee's got. I left some songs in there for Lee. Hopefully, he's found them.
Lee Bryce with a number 1 from last year, One of Them Girls. My co-hosts are BK and Tyler of Florida Georgia Line, and BK, we just heard Lee Bryce talking about buying your bus, and he mentioned that you have a space for big dogs. What are they?
We got 4 big old German Shepherds.
Really?
We have Smoke, Stone, Sunday, and Sage.
And do 4 large German Shepherds play well together?
Yeah, for the most part. We have sisters, Smoke and Sage, and they sometimes it's like a sister thing, and they hadn't fought in probably 3 or 4 years. But if there's we don't let them out and just like hope they're okay. When we let them out, I have to watch them, and I always keep my eyes on them, because they've locked up a couple times, man. We've had a couple ER visits, and it's not pretty. And it's kind of traumatizing, man. And so, they're protection dogs. We've got them all trained, and so they're, I guess, with the sister thing, I don't know.
I wouldn't get in the middle of them. I think I do know that for sure.
No, not fun.
Nico Moon with last week's number 1, number 7 this week. That's good time. Co-hosting with me this week, BK and Tyler from FGL. And I know both you guys are good friends with Russell Dickerson. Of course, his son Remington was born within a couple weeks of Tyler's son Atlas. And when Russell was in, we were talking about that.
So we actually just went over to Tyler and Haley's to meet Atlas, their new baby boy.
Who was born, about
2 weeks after, yeah. Right. So they were due. What's funny is they were due a week apart, and so we went in late. So we were maybe hoping that Haley and Tyler would go a couple days early, and legitimately they had us reserved in adjoining rooms.
Really?
So Kales could have been having her baby in one, and Hales could have been in the other having hers, but no, he came about 2 weeks after. But yeah, we just went over to meet Atlas. Took Remington over there, and Remy was just this chunky nug, and Atlas was so cute, newborn. It was awesome, man. It was awesome.
That's good. Yeah, gotta love that, man. When God gives you babies back to back with buddies, it's it's always a good time. So we love them. That's a special memory for sure.
It's just nice to hear a couple guys talking about having boys. The girl explosion in this place has been pretty crazy the last couple of years.
The boys are gonna have their hand pick. They're gonna have a lot to choose from. So there you go. It works out.
Co-host Florida Georgia Line up 1 to number 5. That's Long Live. BK and Tyler in here as my co-host this week, and it's got to be odd to have a song going up the charts, headed towards number 1, that you haven't been able to do live in front of people for the last year.
Yeah, that's probably one of the strangest things, man, because that's kind of for our whole career how we've gauged, how a song's reacting for the most part in terms of, our live show and just that fan reaction and really just that connection, and so we hadn't done that. It's interesting. So I know we're chomping at the bit to get some tour dates, hopefully, this fall or something locked in. But yeah, man, we're just super thankful for country radio playing our music and always being good to us. And man, we love being on the radio. So it's an extra blessing to because there's a really cool relationship we have with radio and all our partners and all our friends. When we're out on the road, it's, we have a really cool radio room and people backstage, and there's that connection too, and that's also missed. I mean, Zoom kind of helps that for sure in calls like this, but we love to host and we love to throw the parties, and that's something we missed as well. So we're grateful for all the support, even in a wild year.
Yeah, wild year for sure, and hopefully you guys will be able to get back on the road real soon. And Thomas Rhett up 1 to number 2. What's your country song? My co-host this week, BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. And listen, before we leave TR, when he was in here as my co-host, he talked about going on vacation with Tyler.
Him and his wife, they've gotten to become such good friends of ours, and our kids love each other. The four of us, me and my wife and him and Haley, we hang out quite a bit, and we were just in the mountains together, and it was awesome. Me and Tyler got to fly fish together and mountain bike a little bit, and we were at a ranch outside of Telluride.
Oh wow!
Right on the river and next to some hot springs, and we stayed in these tents that I can't call it camping. I would call it glamping, if you will. But it was a blast, man. I can't wait to retire in the mountains one day, to be honest with you.
Ain't that the truth? Come on, T. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with them. We've gone on multiple trips. I feel like we've, from the mountains to Africa to the beach and everywhere else. So they're, they got their hands full too, with a bunch of kids running around. So we're just two big families in one big pod, and having a good time. So a lot of love for the Aikens for sure.
So tell me a little more about these tents.
Man, they were basically, I don't know, a metal frame with some nice fabric laid over it. I mean, it was basically, if you could imagine, in between a cabin and a tent. But it was really special because you could still hear everything outside. It felt like you were sleeping in a tent. But we had like real beds, and if the kids weren't keeping us awake, then we were sleeping pretty good. A lot better than maybe just being in a sleeping bag. But it was a fun trip. It was a nice getaway and just kind of being in nature. We love that. We love going on hikes and going fishing, and we got to spend a lot of time sitting around a campfire and eating some good food and just spending time with family. So being out in the nature like that is special.
Man, it sounds like quite a crew when your two families get out together. But we are talking about Thomas Rhett, who was there at number 2. As we head on to the number 1 song in the USA, it's Parmalee and Blanco Brown. Just Parmalee and Blanco Brown at number 1, Just the Way. And there they are. The top 30 country hits in the USA is compiled by Country Air Check. My co-hosts have been BK and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line. And guys, as we kind of wrap up here, what's your best guess for getting back on the road?
We're just kind of sitting on go, waiting for the word from somebody. I know we're ready. We'll see.
I think we have dates held for the fall, so we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping we can get out and play some big ones in the fall.
Well, can't ask for more than that. And, of course, the current top 5 is Long Live. It's on the new album, Life Rolls On. Best luck with that. And as always, love talking to you guys, and thanks for helping me count down the hits.
Hey, you too, Lon.
Anytime,
Thanks for having us, man.
Country Countdown.